Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's me, Dezi, and you're in the place to be if you love all things magical, mystical, and mysterious. Today's video topic is going to be a paranormal tag. I'm not sure where it's sourced from. I actually discovered it off of Laura Pretty's YouTube account, but she is not sure where it's from. She just got the questions off another YouTuber's page who did not know where it came from. It's a little bit of a mystery. But yeah, if you guys know where the paranormal tag came from, please let us know so that we can give them credit in the description box below. That'd be super amazing. I have been really into the tags lately and getting into the spooky vibes, and I know a lot of people don't do them anymore, but I find them super fun, and I find a lot of people, I meet a lot of people through doing that who are into the same thing as I am. So that's why I'm doing it, to kind of throw it out into the universe to see if maybe I can make some more spooky friends through the tag. So question one is, how old were you when you had your first paranormal experience? I think I was about 10 or 11. It was actually when I met a fairy queen, and I actually have that video on my YouTube. I'll link it here and in the description box. That was what I would consider a paranormal activity. It's something out of the norm. It wasn't super scary by any means, of course. It was actually magical, and I enjoyed it every second of it. But yeah, I met a fairy queen the very first time. So if you're interested in that video, make sure you check it out. It'll be in that description box down there. Number two is, have you always believed in ghosts? Yes, I've actually for a long time repressed a lot of what I would call some type of psychic abilities. I would say I have clair-knowing, and for a long time I did repress that because it scared me, and it still does, even though I kind of understand it better now. It still freaks me out, especially when you have a gut feeling that you know something's going to happen, and then it proves you right every single time, and it's not always the most happy of things that happen. So it makes me scared sometimes of my own mind, which is a whole different video in itself. But with that, it also stems, if I know something may happen, there has to be some type of connection to it on the other side. And I've known when things are about to happen, or someone's going to come over, that kind of thing. Ever since I was little, I've had visions, and then I go through them and have massive deja vu for almost like an entire day. And yeah, it's kind of creepy in that sense. I've also sensed things in my space, ghosts or spirits, whatever you may call that. Whereas I may not see them as much, I do sense them, and I do get messages through my mind that they want to communicate. And I've always believed in them. There has to be life on the other side of this world. I just feel like it can't end here. It's too vast of a universe to not have something, when it passes on, continue on in some sense. Where is your favorite place to investigate? That's number three. I have not investigated anything as of yet. I've experienced many things in my everyday life, and that's what's prompting me to want to investigate. Actually, it's going to be a graveyard, and I'm planning to take my SB7 spirit box. I just got it here. So I just got my very first spirit box, so I'm planning on taking it on an investigation with me and get started to see what kind of evidence I can compile, because honestly it's all that I really watch on YouTube, that and witchcraft accounts. So I would say I'm obsessed with it, and it's something I've always been intrigued by, although I'm not much into the horror film industry or anything like that, since I don't like to be purposefully scared. But I do want to find answers as to why spirits are trying to make themselves known, and as to what's going on in the afterlife and what's next for us. Although I do claim myself now as an investigator, I'm just in the beginning stages of my journey, but it's definitely something that I want to continue on with going forward as a witch who also investigates. I think it's a different, unique spin on the entire concept. What's your favorite tool to use investigating is number four. Like I said, I haven't investigated as of yet. I actually just like to use my own senses, and that's all I've used so far when I do experience things. But I think my most favorite tool would be a spirit box, because I just like the clarity that comes through in it. Or using my pendulum, because I do like to use that to communicate with my spirit guides and my goddess. So I think those would be my two favorite, but who knows? It might be something else entirely, and I might have to do this tag in a few years to update you guys on what my actual favorites are. Number 5 is, what's your scariest paranormal experience? That would have to be a video that I posted a while back, a few years ago. I was still living at my grandparents' house, and I was living in the basement. We had a large bedroom off of our sewing room, and I always felt like there was an energy coming in at me all the time. And when my ex and I had split and he moved out, I felt like there was nothing really buffering that any longer, and I was not really very much into personal protection and aura protection and all that kind of thing, and I was going through a rough time, and I was participating in a lot of lower vibrational behaviors, drinking, and not really caring for myself in that sense. And I felt like I was made myself vulnerable in that sense, and I was laying in bed, and I know that I was awake. I know that it wasn't any type of sleep paralysis, because I've had that and it's completely different for me. But I was laying in bed and I felt this weight on my chest, and I know that does sound like sleep paralysis, but it felt like something was trying to climb into me and take me over. And the thing that was different about it is the fact that I heard my voice change, and it wasn't like it was far off, like when you're sleeping your voice sounds like it's far away. My voice actually changed. It was not my own, and I had to recite prayer over and over to make it go away, and it's actually giving me chills just thinking about it. I don't know if you could see it, but it freaks me out every time. And when I was able to finally move myself and get myself up again, I shot up the stairs and I sat in the living room with my grandma, and I literally did not sleep for like 3 days because I was so freaked out. I did have to do some other stuff to get rid of it in the end, and that's all in the video on my channel, so I'll definitely link it in the description box if you guys are curious about that and to more greater detail about the whole thing. Number 7, do you know anyone else who personally has paranormal experiences? Yes, my cousin is actually very psychic, but she's seen my Uncle Donnie, who has passed many years ago. She's seen many spirits, she's received many messages, and yeah, she's very much connected to the other side. And then also my girlfriend, I would say, has had more experience with me, and more terrifying ones at that. So she's told me many spooky stories, and I'm actually going to have her come onto the channel soon and tell me all about the things that had happened in her home. She actually lived in a Frank Lloyd Wright home. He was actually a famous architect who was known for very odd construction and design in his homes, and many of them are actually considered to be haunted. Hers was very disturbing in a lot of sense. I've seen a few people actually investigate some of his homes in the States, and I didn't know what they were until we were watching Oh My Gosh's channel, and I believe it was Oh My Gosh, he investigated that Frank Lloyd Wright. It was either him or Urban Explorer. I can't remember which one. It was one or the other. And my girlfriend's like, oh, that name sounds familiar, and we dug a little bit into it, and turns out the home that she used to live in a few years ago was one of his constructions. So it's super creepy, and I thought that was a really weird tie into it. Number 8 is, do you have trouble convincing friends and family about your paranormal experiences? Yes and no. I wouldn't say anyone would outrightly just deny my belief. They would say that maybe I believe that it happened, and they believe me that I believe. Definitely my cousin believes me, and other than that, my grandmother who raised me and definitely my dad would think I'm crazy. I think he does think I'm crazy, actually. My grandma, I think, just kind of sloughs it off. She doesn't really believe in it either way, but she definitely is very spiritual, which is different. So I don't understand why she wouldn't believe. I think she wants to believe, that's for sure. And I really don't really feel like I need to justify it to anyone else. I believe what I believe, and that's all that matters. Number 10 is, what would be your dream place to investigate? That would definitely be Chillingham Castle. Since I've seen it on Brittany44's account, I am obsessed with that video. I love old ruins, and I especially love castles, and I've always felt like I'm an old soul and I was meant to live back in ancient times where they lived in more a medieval time, and they were in castles and they had a moat around it and just live in that fairy tale. I find them absolutely beautiful and fascinating. So Chillingham Castle would be my very top. Number 11 is, do you prefer to investigate alone or in a group? Definitely in a group. 1, for safety, for sure. 2, I am a complete chicken. I do not want to go doing that alone. 1, I'm also a complete klutz. I will fall and hurt myself, and I know probably 3 times a day I'll trip on something. It's a proven fact with me, so I definitely need someone to help pick me up, brush me off, and get me home safely. Number 12 is, your home haunted? The home I used to live in where I grew up, I think, had lower vibrational things drawn to it. I don't think innately was it haunted by family members or anything like that, but I do believe it was something, I believe it was like the beginnings of a vortex, and I can always go into another video about what that might be, but it felt like so many negative things had happened there over the years, and so many dark attitudes and bad experiences, because my family has gone through a lot of pain and strife and difficulties. I feel like it was turning into a bit of a vortex, so yes and no. And then also the place that I'm living in now with my girlfriend, I have a hunch. I feel like yes. I'm not exactly sure, because it is a condo complex where it is attached to many other homes. It is a single home, but it does have neighbors on either side. So I'm still trying to like wean out what certain sounds are, but there are things that are they're not able to be debunked, is what I'm trying to say. They're unexplainable, and that's what makes me lean towards yes. Number 13 is, have you ever had paranormal experiences with animals? No. I don't think animals would be paranormal because they're of this earth, but I have had a spiritual one, if that's what this question means. My grandfather loved the blue jays, and it was his favorite animal as well. He always used to point them out when they came into our yard. And after he passed, we had an inundation of blue jays in our neighborhood. It was insane, and one particular one would continue to visit us in the backyard and actually took over his garden for him that year, and I tried my best to keep it up really nicely for him without being very experienced as a gardener. And every time I was out in the garden taking care of it, this bird would come and hang out with me. So yeah, I would say yes if that's what that question means. But yeah, that is it for this video, you guys. This was super fun. I'm actually hoping to do a summer Halloween tag also from Laura Pretty's account. I will link her channel down below. Definitely check her out. She does a lot of really amazing things. She does singing. She's a beautiful singer. She also talks about true crime and the paranormal every once in a while, kind of whatever she feels like, and she's super inspiring and entertaining to watch, so definitely check her out. And if you know where this tag came from other than her account, please let us know in the comments below so I can definitely give credit to the original person on that. And yeah, I shall be posting up more videos more often, so get ready for that, and I can't wait for my very first investigation. If you guys like my channel but are yet not subscribed, definitely make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell so you don't miss out on my notifications, because I do post many times a week, every week, and I'll be posting all about paranormal and the witchcraft and occult and the magical, the mystical, and the mysterious, anything that fits in within that world, because that's what I'm obsessed with. That's what I enjoy. And I hope you guys are having a fantastic day and are staying safe. Stay witchy, you guys. Peace.